Hello and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to be doing these two Agate pieces off of a new batch of Brazilian agates I just cut, the second cutting. And I'm just going to make these, and I'm just going to polish the faces on these two just because I like the outside looks, and that'll give everybody a shows people what they look like when they're rough, help them try to find them a little better. And it's a sample. There's not much I can do with it. It does have quite a few lines. I guess I could wet them down, that'd help. As long as I can get them to stay wet. I have taken these to the 100 grit on the flatlap. I don't know if that helped or not. I was looking over my glasses. Yeah, it helped a little. It's not going to get a whole lot of light from the outside edges, just on the thinner sections. But it's got all these nice, I don't know if that's common opal that's decayed or calcite. Can't believe I couldn't remember that. I let me wet down this other one too. That way I can get a better thumbnail. There's the other one, and it's got quartz coming all the way up in here. That's why I don't want to take the back off of it, because that quartz, I'm going to have hard enough time not get. This seems pretty solid. There doesn't seem to be a lot of pits in this section of quartz, but there probably would be back here, and that'd scratch it if I tried to. Plus I got this awful lump sticking off the side here that I'd have to grind all the way off or cut off with the saw, and I don't think it'd look too good with that cut off either. So I do have some pitting down here at the back, at the bottom of this. I think that's the fill side, but I don't know that for a fact. But anyway, I'm going to do those two, and then then I think I'll do one of the other cabs, one of the smaller cabs. Let me see what I got over here. Yeah, I think I'll do this cab. Make a freeform cab out of it, just because it won't take as long. I need to get a couple more videos. I got one up, one came out today, so I still got one left up there that's come out Wednesday, and then I need one for Friday, which will be this one, and then another one for the following Sunday, or for Sunday after that will be this one. Well, these two. Actually, let me show these two together. So I keep forgetting to do that when I do more than one rock on a video. I keep forgetting to put both of them on there so I can get a decent thumbnail. This way I'll have a decent thumbnail to put up with the video that has both rocks instead of just one. I got a dark spot in that vug there. Some kind of inclusion. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll do this one and then show you what it looks like after that, and then I'll start it on this, and then I'll show you after it's done on the, rather than showing you the last three wheels, I'll show you after it's done, just like I've done on the last 2 or 3 videos. But I'm starting on a 280 grit. And these ones were good enough I didn't have to take them to the 80 grit first on the flat lap. I just took them to the 100 grit because I don't want to put them on here because I risk getting too close to the edges. Here we go. This part took a long time on the last two, this wheel here, because the 80 grit, because I took them to the 80 grit, I still had 80 grit scratches that I couldn't see after the 100 grit because there was just too many scratches there. These don't have as many deep scratches, I don't think. I'll find out here in a minute. As soon as I get some of that dough off of there, I'll be able to see what kind of scratches I got. Other than the ones I could already see, which weren't too bad. And this one, this down here looked like it was scratched, but it was only because it's white waterline agate. So I didn't show them on this one either. And I should have. It's a little easier to see what they look like. I don't know. I haven't looked. Until I've edited the footage, I'm not going to be able to tell. It's got some nice eyes around this upper edge up here. Got that one there. Then it's got some smaller ones up in here. That's another reason why I don't want to take those off. I'm going to have to take a little bit of this edge off just to keep it from cutting or scratching anybody. I'm going to leave my flashlight out. And that way nobody gets hurt while they're looking at it. Because this agate's just like obsidian or glass. It will cut you if it's in a thin enough slice. It's hard to keep a hold of it. It's got nothing I can grab a hold of. Except the edge, and I don't want my fingers that close to the wheels. I already got pointed fingernails and cut knuckles. That does have some pretty deep gouges in it on this outside edge, and I still got kerf marks in there. Now maybe those aren't kerf marks. It definitely seems a little more scratched than I thought it was. I don't know why I wet that down. This one's dry. Yeah, it's got the same amount of scratches around the outside edges. It's because I had to go to the outside edges to get kerf marks out on the flatlap. The outer edges have got more grit on them because you don't use it as much, but it also makes bigger scratches. Sometimes you got to press a little harder to get some of the heavier scratches out, but you don't want to overdo it, because that's why I think I've kind of wore this out. Although yesterday it seemed like it was taking it when I was pressing on it lighter a little faster than it was if I was pressing on it harder. So, but it just still was going to take a while. So you'll end up, if pressing it harder, you'll end up with more scratches from the particular wheel you're doing that to. But you can still take those scratches out with that same wheel. Just run it the opposite direction, a little lighter, take them off a little at a time rather than a lot at a time. Because these scratches leave a lot of pits, because you've got all the broken off diamond from the wheel and chipped out agate from the diamonds taking it off. All of that's kind of a slurry, and it'll get down in there and scratch everything up too. And some of that you can't control what size the pieces are on the agate. Sometimes it'll be bigger pieces than the grit you're using, and it'll make a deeper scratch. Usually you can step back a wheel, but I don't want to step back to either one of these two to keep from getting gouges on here because it's too wide for these two wheels. Both of them are. Actually, all but one of the, well, actually the one I did yesterday, the wider one of the two was just about that much too wide for these two wheels, which is enough as far as I'm concerned. It takes a lot longer to get those gashes or those grooves, gouges out than it does regular scratches, because you got to take the whole agate down to that level, and sometimes they could be that deep. 2/16 of an inch, sometimes 3, depending on how long you actually hit it or what kind of pressure you're using. Go ahead and move on with this one. I got, there it is. Still got a bunch of scratches on there. I think they're mostly all from this one. Some of them I put in there from this one. Some of them are just partially there from the 100 grit. And I think this grit will take them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on this one now. Hopefully this one will work out a little better. I think I pretty much wore out this wheel because it'll cut so far and then it's done. It won't cut anymore. It will cut, but you have to put quite a bit of pressure on it. Not a bunch, but more than normal in order to get it to cut that stuff out of there. But you can still see wet this down to get it just right where it's not quite dried off. You still got the water on it, and you can see the deeper scratches. And that's what I'm having trouble getting out, because this isn't, I don't think it still seems to be cutting, but it just don't cut enough. And this one leaves deeper scratches than the 100 grit, as far as I'm concerned. Because, probably just because it's steel. I don't know. The 100 grit I got for that's they're making it with resin now instead of steel. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and start on this one, and we'll go from there. I'll come back in when I get them both done on this wheel and ready to go to the next one. Watering my bugs. Okay, I got this one ready to go to the next wheel. Still got some scratches in it, but they're all from this wheel, mostly. Some of them are still left over from the 100 grit, but they're basically pits, lines of pits, but I can get those out. They're shallow enough now. And they've both got pretty good shines on them. This one's got even more scratches on it, but it's most of the main scratches are right in here. I got 3 scratches going that way. They're a little deep, but I figured I got them from the 280 grit, so I figured I'd go ahead and take them out with the 600 grit. And I'm still going to have some fits in these fortification water lines down here at the bottom. Not going to be able to get away from that. And it looks like there's quite a few fortification lines in that center too. Like there's a separation between the 2 sets, but then these kind of only go up about halfway. And that couldn't just be the outline of the fortification lines that are in there, because you can see an outline for each fortification line. And one of them is actually kind of squiggly. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. See if I can get them scratches off first. Okay, I'm back. Here's the, I think this is the second one I started on. I like this. I like them all, of course. I love agates. Let me get my flashlight out and show you what it looks like with the light on the front. Maybe give you a little better idea on the colors of the agate inside of there, because it's so dark. And then a little bit of the light behind it. Light comes through that quartz opening back here pretty good. I'm looking over my glasses again. But you have to come up to the outside edges. To get the rest of it light up. Nice looking stone. And I had a lot more pits open up, as you can see in that quartz, than I started with. And it was giving me scratches. Giving me fits is what it was doing. It was giving me fits bad enough that I lost my patience on the second one and did something you should probably never do. I'd gotten all the way to the 600 with it, and I had some scratches in the center that I could not get off with the 600, and I could not get off with the 280. So I decided, rather than take it back over to the 100 grit and get the deeper scratches that I had before, I figured the 220 would give me less deeper scratches, and then I could just kind of, all I was wanting to do was take out a few pits, because I had some pits right down in here that was a scratch going across the bottom end of that eye, and I had some pits up here on this edge, and then I had 3 scratches right dead in the center, and I took it back to the 220 grit, and look at what happened. Now that was I was using it as light as I could, and it just kept getting worse. So finally I decided, well, let's go over the whole thing almost, because I had some ledges down here where I'd started grinding, and I had some places where I'd kind of accidentally tipped it to the side and it gouged it on the outside edges. But then I took it down as much as I could. Let's go back onto this one. And you can still see the gouges. There's one, a good one right there. And that's where I had the ledges at. That's one of the ledges. I got the other one out on this side. But, and then I've got more gouges up here. Of course, some of that was softer too. But I worked on this for 45 minutes on the 220, and that's how much you can tell that I actually worked on it. Not much at all. So I decided I was giving up on it. I'm throwing it in the tumbler, and I think it's going to come out better rock anyway, because then you'll be able to see this face here, and this over here that looks like it's got a few eyes in it. And there might even be some eyes on the back if you can see all the little circles. There might even be some eyes on the back of it, but I lost patience. Oh no, there is a second gouge over there. I just had it up the wrong way. There's one over here and one over here. One here and one here. So I didn't get those all out last time I tried it on the 220. But anyway, sorry for you not being able to see this, but I'll bring it back in. You probably won't remember it, but I'll probably bring it back in after I tumble it. It might be a while before I tumble anything though, because I don't have any tumbling material except end pieces, and I need to get some new lids for my 3-pound barrels on my Harbor Freight tumbler, and before I can use those. And I don't want to put it in a 12-pound tumbler, because that's the only other rocks I have to go with it are that would be a little bit bigger to take up more room, are really soft. They're Missouri Crowley Ridge agates, basically, that I got in Missouri. And I don't know if I want to put this in with them, because it'll ruin them, and probably won't do much for this. So I'd rather do this in a 3-pound tumbler. I need to order. I got my tablet out today. Was going to order some. Chip. Was going to order some, but my tablet was dead because it's been on this whole time. I usually leave it on, but I keep it on my desk, and whenever it gets low, I'll plug it in. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm not going to ask you to like, share today. I think I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe I need to figure out how to put a banner in there towards the end. Maybe drop it over in the lower left hand of the video down here. It's hard to make it go even with the camera. There we go. I was going backwards. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, I uploaded the video that came out Sunday. Was a white plume agate, and I messed up on it. I don't know what I did when I was editing it. I usually use on the last clip I usually use this camera here, not the one that zoomed in, and I'll go to the spot where I want to put the footage from this camera over top of the footage there, and I just move the footage over, not the dialogue or the audio track. That way it's all the same, and I don't have to worry about it. I have to pick it correctly, or my mouth doesn't match up with my talking, and I did that, but evidently I didn't move I thought I did that. I either didn't move the playhead back over to where I needed to put it into the video, and when I dropped it in, it went at the end of the one. So it was a lot of footage from this camera of me showing other rocks and giving the outro and all that other stuff. And then it started the outro from this camera, or started the same thing from this camera, and played all that out. And it made it a 17-minute video. And that's not what I was trying to do, was double things up like that. But I went on ahead and fixed it, and put it in as a re-edited white plume agate freeform cab. and that way, and I'd already had 50 people watch it, or 50 some odd, 54 views, and 4 likes. I added a like to it because it popped up in my feed for that's the first time I've had anything pop up on recommended of mine, and I think maybe they did that because they saw I've been uploading them as private, well, the last 3 videos, and then this one's going to go up the same way, except the one that I edited today. I didn't put it up as private, I put it up as public so they'd post it when I deleted the other one, and that's why I deleted the other one, rather than make you sit through that. I can't remember what I was going to say now. That's what I get for picking up a rock. I'm fidgeting and I need to do something. But anyway, so that one's up. Anyway, I've been putting them up like that so that YouTube algorithm can run through the video and get an idea on who to show it to see if they want to watch it. And I figured it'd get me more views that way. Well, it's supposed to get you more views that way because it gives them more of an audience, gives them a way to figure out who you want it to go to, or who needs to see it, or who wants to see it, that type of stuff. And it seems to be working out pretty good so far. I'm up to 90 subscribers now, and that's a heck. At the beginning of the month, I think I was at 67 or 70 something, maybe 67, I think. I don't remember for sure, but so I've gone up quite a few subscribers. But all of you the people that are subscribing, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I'm going to try to get better footage than this. Well, not this. This one with all the scratches in it. And I'm going to do this one next just because it's smaller and it's not going to take very long. I'm tired of working 6 and 8 hours and not getting much done and only getting one video out of it. But and this one here I can work on these steel wheels. It's not going to be fun, but I can do it because I just don't trust the steel. Well, it's not steel anymore it's supposed to be steel plates or discs for my flatlap, but the diamond is in resin now instead of in steel, and I think they're breaking out of it easier than they would on the steel, because I don't know how they anneal them to it, but it's not the same on the other ones, and I don't care for them. I may see if I can find some steel ones, because they lasted a whole lot longer. They still work, but they just got too many rogue crystals. I've got one it's a 10-inch disc, so it's got 5 inches of, well, 4 inches, 4.5 of grit before the outside edge, and I've got a rogue crystal in the center of the 100 grit, and several on the outside edge and some on the inside edge, about that far from the center hub and about that far from the outside edge. And I use that every once in a while on areas that I need to get heavier scratches out of. I'll kind of tip it up a little bit, or just run it out there and still leaving it flat. I'll just run it out there, and then I'll get those. But then I got these big deep scratches with all the pits in it that I have to take out. And my 280 grit, the 270 grit on that one is nowhere near as good as this 280 was, and it's only 10 grits larger or smaller than the larger actually. The 270 is 10 grits or 10 sizes larger than the 280 grit, but the 280 grit was taking everything out a lot better than it was, so it didn't work worth a darn. And it's a soft disc too, so I don't know. The quality control is getting out of hand everywhere. But anyway, I'm through ranting. So you guys have a good day and take care.